Welcome to the Ice Forum in Champlin as playoff hockey begins for boys hockey teams. It's the Section 5 AA quarterfinals and a rivalry matchup for you. The number 7 seed Osseo taking on number 2 seed Maple Grove. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken, and Dan, doesn't get much better than this for the first round.
Got two rivals, longtime rivals. They don't like each other one bit. One looking for a little redemption, the other one looking to grow and move on a little bit. So, but I love rivalry games to start it all out with.
Maple Grove coming in as the number 2 seed. A loss to Blaine at the end of the regular season. They said they feel like that could be a turning point, though. They really talked about it long after the game and really worked over some things.
They sat down until 1:45 in the morning in their locker room after that game and really had a heart-to-heart and got some things out in the open that have been kind of sitting there festering for a while. Got some things straightened out. They just had the best week of practice they've had all year, and they've been getting better, Jay, and they think maybe that loss might be the one that gets them over the hump because they are a legitimate contender to Blaine.
Osseo played them very tough over at Osseo, a 4-2 game. They also led 1-0 in their second meeting after one period. Their guys come in, obviously they're a big underdog, but it would be a huge win if they were able to get it, and they're going to give it a good try.
If you want to ask for an opponent to start out with when you're not having a good year, get your rival, because you don't have to get your juices up, man. They're there. And Osseo, they've got some tough team. They've had good goaltending this year. Dahlberg stepped up and played very well for them. A little inconsistent, but in some big games he's stepped up. If he can do that and keep Maple Grove off the board for a while, maybe let the Osseo Orioles get a lead or two, this could be a very interesting situation because Osseo can skate. They got to concentrate and they've got to play a really good game, 3 periods.
Let's talk about key players in today's game for Osseo. One of their guys that if they're going to pull an upset, they need to score a little bit, Mason Hadla.
Consistency. That's what he's got to have. He can put the puck in the net. He's got 7 power play goals for the Orioles. If he can get that power play going, there's a way to score. And they've been having trouble doing that. So he's got to step up and start putting the puck in the net for them.
And for Maple Grove, one of their solid D-men, Drake Thompson.
Number 24, big guy. We all look at the flashy guys. This guy's just as steady. You'll hear his name every once in a while, but nobody gets behind him. He's always in front of the net protecting his goalie. He's always making the outlet passes. He's the kind of guy that lets your stars be stars. And he's had a real good season this year. We'll be watching him to steady down that Maple Grove defense.
We'll see who moves on to the Coliseum. It's the final year over at the State Fairgrounds in the section semifinals. Maple Grove and Osseo up next.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
And welcome back here to Champlin, the site of 3 of the 4 Section 5 AA quarterfinal games. The Rebels of Champlin Park are not permitted to play at home, so they're playing over at Coon Rapids against Centennial. Earlier, we had Blaine winning and Anoka winning here in this Section 5 AA tournament. Interesting to see how this game will get started out, Dan, is, Maple Grove going to come out and try and put a couple on the board early and take away any hope for Osseo. Osseo, on the other hand, I'm sure they're going to come out fired up and try and do what they can to take the play to Maple Grove a little bit.
You're looking at the key right there, right on our screen right now, Connor Dahlberg. If he can stop these first 5 minutes, and keep them off the board. That'll help the Osseo Oils quite a bit. And I do expect Maple Grove to come out fired up. They took a good whipping by Blaine their last game, so they want to prove something to themselves.
Josh Passolt forces a turnover. Sam Valerius, the quick shot. And then Dahlberg will freeze it alongside the net as they're able to force a quick turnover in the Osseo zone. There is a look at Brady Goodman, the Crimson goaltender, who's taken over down the stretch. Sparkling numbers for him. You see that save percentage up over 94%.
Sophomore, too. A lot of hope for the future for the Maple Grove Crimson. You know, he's had a heck of a nice season. He's really solidified their goaltending.
Thompson getting it ahead to Valerius. Drops it to Passolt. Trying to go back to Valerius. And relayed back in, and Maple Grove will change here as Dahlberg leaves it for Boone Almquist. Looking long up the right wing side there for Rudy Alexander, and he will send it in deep and head off on a change here as Sam Franta comes back to pick it up for the Crimson. And that's going to be an offside as it ends up hitting the official on the way out there. Of course, playing on an Olympic rink here, which Maple Grove also plays. There's one of the two co-head coaches for Osseo, Kevin Willey.
Otherwise known as Chili, a alumni, really good hockey player with the Oils. Went on to St. John's, All-American, and come back to coach as a high school alma mater.
Yeah, basically their whole staff is former Orioles.
Yep.
Right wing side, and that one's sailing wide of the mark there from Nate Erickson from Maple Grove. And back the other way now comes Zach Heiser, one-on-one here. And Franta wins that battle, able to poke check it away. Back into the Osseo zone here. Tyler Stroh sending it across. Cameron Perna right back for Stroh, and he'll send it right back around. Tipped out to center, and the Crimson will try and get in on the forecheck as they flip it back in there. Stroh to play it. Connor Perna, rink wide pass off target. Jack Kelly there for the Crimson, and he'll send it on in, and they come in too deep on the forecheck. Push back to the corner there. Sam Ross trying to free it up for the Crimson. Top the side there by Jared Vance. To the line, but not out. Thompson able to keep it in. Back down to that corner here. Defenseman Kelly pinching in to keep it alive there for the Crimson. Tap to the corner. Osseo going to definitely keep a lot of bodies in front of their net. Here's Valerius off the bench, trying to get it over to Drake Thompson, but a nice job there defensively. Austin Ledeen able to poke that one away. Now Valerius sends it right back in. Dahlberg stopping it, but it comes loose out front. Now Valerius picks it up, puts it in front. Here's a shot, and he missed an open net. Dahlberg was wandering back, trying to get into position there. There was a wide open goal.
Passolt will see that shot for the rest of the evening. Boy, I'll tell you, that was a wide open net. Dahlberg got kind of caught outside.
Here's Passolt, and he sails that one over the top of the net. Now Drake Thompson. Thompson, a nice move into the slot, fires, and just missed the short side. Maple Grove having trouble hitting the net so far, but they have been controlling play. Jack Kelly across to Drake Thompson. Kelly at the top. They look for the tip, and it goes wide off the stick of Norenberg. Now back for Valerius. Valerius trying to shake off Tyler Stroh there. Orioles get to it. Cannot get it out, though. Drake Thompson keeps it in. Passolt trying to spin away from that check. It goes around behind. Now Connor Perna. Osseo able to finally relieve the pressure, but it'll end up being an icing as they didn't connect on the pass to Brendan Hoban. So Maple Grove not able to put anything away, but putting tons of forecheck pressure on in these first few shifts as you look at Mark Fino, the other co-head coach for Osseo, and now he's got the clean-shaven looking Kevin.
Yeah.
Got the Fu Manchu going, and I think it was earlier in the season it was the other way around. They're a little different look to those guys here, shaping things up for playoff time.
Two very good buddies. You know, Maple Grove's serious here. They double shifted that first line coming out, and oh my, nice strategy here by the Orioles. They're trying to open it up and flying a wing up ahead to catch Maple Grove defense behind them. It's a good idea. If they hit one of those passes, they could be dangerous.
Yeah, Sam Franta just reached out and able to break that one up for Maple Grove. Centering pass there hits the side of the goal as Osseo getting their first real offensive zone time, but then the pass back skips away. Nice job by Almquist, though, to regain control. Goodman will come out and stop it behind the net here for Maple Grove. Now the Crimson, a nice catch of that long pass. Nate Erickson, and it goes off the back of the net here as a couple players collide, and now Osseo coming right back the other way. Alexander beaten to it by Thompson. Long bank pass ahead, stolen by A.J. Lyons, one of the captains for Osseo. He'll throw one in on net. Goodman stops that and leaves it for a teammate. Kelly getting it up the left wing side there. Jake Abernathy slams on the brakes, putting it into the slot. Here's Erickson a shot on that one, or excuse me, Sam Ross shooting it high. Thompson teeing it up. Blocker save there by Dahlberg. Thompson pinching in, keeps it down toward that corner. Abernathy now getting it over. Here's a backhand try coming around behind with Sam Ross. The defense got a little bit caught up, and Ross had a little room to work with there. Brought it out front for a backhander, but Dahlberg able to make the save. And there's a look at Tom Starkey, Maple Grove's head coach, and like his counterparts on the other side, an alumni. He was really part of one of the first group of teams when Maple Grove opened, and he was a good one. Went on to play at Air Force, and coming in to take over this year. And obviously their situation last year was well documented. Tom coming in and new staff, and had a pretty good season. I mean, obviously they've lost a fair amount of games too, but they've played a very tough schedule, and they like where they're at for the most part. Well, coming into playoffs.
They lost a lot of scoring off that team last year too. I mean, they're kind of not a rebuilding, I think just a restocking job here, but he's done a marvelous job with this team and settled them down, playing very well. They're a legitimate #2 seed in the section, and they have a good opportunity to get through and maybe have an opportunity at state this year. They're playing really well right now, Jay.
Valerius throws that one on net. Now Osseo able to break it back out the other way. Ben Christofferson, 3-on-2 chance, and tipped away from Alexander. Good recovery by Franta there. Now Passolt to Valerius, dropping it back. Here's Franta's shot, and Dahlberg able to make a save there for the Orioles, and he's had been good so far, and also fortunate on the one where he was out and left a wide open net. Maple Grove, they're playing well certainly early on here, but I'm thinking for their feeling, they're not creating as many good chances as they would like to, based on how much they've dominated.
Well, I think they're just a little too juiced too, where they've been missing in the net. They must have missed the net 4 times on shots and stuff, and now they slowed it down just a little bit, and now they're hitting the goalie. Now they got to find the openings.
This will be an ice on Osseo, and we'll march right back into the Orioles zone. And playoff games have a tendency of being, just a little bit tighter than what you would see during the regular season. Everybody on both teams knows that it's lose or go home, and teams, you see it year after year in sections where a game that you think looks lopsided on paper becomes a little closer than you'd expect. It's too early to say whether that'll be the case here or not. Dahlberg making the save, and another, and then it's knocked in on the rebound. The Crimson, Sam Huff. Third try was a charm as Dahlberg made 2 saves, but Huff able to get his stick free just enough to knock that one home. And it's 1-0 Maple Grove.
Nice play in front. Huff parked to the side here. Got a good shot again. Now we got it on goal in the spot where Dahlberg could not control it, and he lets a rebound off to the side here, and there's Huff standing right on the edge, and he buries it for the first Maple Grove goal.
Maple Grove looking to go right back to the attack here. Down in the corner with it. Setting up shop again. Franta gives a little return pass, and it gets away and pops back out to center. Relayed back in. That one goes off out of play through the netting and over the glass.
Well, I think one thing that's happening too is that defense getting worn down a little early here. We'll see a good setup here and a good shot. And Dahlberg took it off his shoulder. He couldn't quite get the Glover blocker, glance it off way to the side of the corner, and they got it right back out in front. He got a good leg save, but couldn't quite deflect it deeper into the corner. And of course, then Ross jumped on it and put it in the net. You know, we were talking in pregame, too, about that last game that Maple Grove had. Now they spent a lot of time in their locker room after the game really hashing some things out. And they've really come out with some jump and energy. And they're a fast team anyway, Jay, but they could be very, very dangerous in this section.
Huff gets his 9th of the year. Erickson and Vogel getting the assist here for Maple Grove. Came at 6:20 here of the first. Orioles looking to come back the other way strong here. Mason Hodla going to the net. Now throws it out front as he's checked, and then a nice save by Goodman. Here's another shot, and that one knocked down. Great opportunities there for Osseo, their first of the night. Here's Valerius. Floating a pass, a quick shot, and Dahlberg, a glove save on Norenberg. Boy, we saw goalies at each end make nice stops there.
Both ends here. Osseo getting an opportunity. And watch this play here. Nice move in front. Getting another shot, and then rebound comes out, and another one. They just couldn't quite bury. Good play by the D there. Was that Drake that we talked about earlier, making a block, and then coming back down, and Dahlberg made a nice save for the Orioles.
Off the draw, shot goes wide here for Maple Grove. Vogel comes out of there with it, hits a shin pad there. Now Huff picks it up. Vogel circling around out of the corner and then out front, knocked away by Dahlberg, but to the point, Franta. That one broken up there nicely by Zach Heiser for Osseo, floats it to the Crimson line. And dumped right back in, big carom there. Goodman leaving it for Franta. Nice little move there to get it ahead to Huff.
Oh.
Huff trying to go around the D. Rebound try by Vogel goes over the top. Dahlberg made a good save on Huff. And then Vogel just not quite able to direct that one in as an excellent move by Sam Huff there. Just a freshman.
First goal scorer almost got a second one. Nice play there. What a nice move coming in. You can see the skill set for the Crimson.
Jack Keeblebeck a shot, and Dahlberg just gets a glove on that one. That one hits the outside of the net off the stick of Abernathy. Most of the play has been in this end of the rink so far. Dahlberg stick save on that one. He's going to be a busy man here tonight. Abernathy controlling it. Back out to Kelly on the point. And that one stolen, chopped out of there by Seth Yonkers for Osseo. Thompson back to get it here for the Crimson.
Whoa.
Shakes off an attempted check there by Chase Funfar. And then Thompson throwing a hit. Osseo fans want a penalty. Orioles come up with the puck out front, and they cannot quite connect on the pass back there to Lyons. Carried on in here by Almquist. Almquist putting it out front. Nobody there. Now Thompson's going to get a penalty as he hauled down Brendan Hoban out front. And Osseo is going to go on the power play. Probably an interference, possibly a hook. Yeah, interference call on Drake Thompson as you see it right out front here. Threw a check when the puck's not really in the vicinity.
Yeah, it was kind of a no-doubter there, Jay. He really laid him out pretty good, and especially the refs were watching after that first little incident about 15 seconds first. But here's where the Orioles got to make hay. They got to make them pay for going into the box.
Shot from the point by Lyons is on net. Goodman able to make the stop there for Maple Grove. Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, they're going to get a lot fewer chances tonight than Maple Grove is. I think we can safely say that. If they can convert and on situations like this, then they stand a chance.
They got number 17, Mason Hodela, who's been just had a great year on the power play. 7 power play goals. Get him set up, see if he can break the ice and get this game tied up.
Dahlberg around for Lyons as he's harassed there by Nate Erickson. Now Christofferson off the stick of Alexander, but he regains control here. Alexander floating it back out to the point there to Lyons. And that pass, not much on it, but it got there anyway to Ledeen. Back out to the point. Here's a drive. That one goes wide. Then the rebound caroms off the back of the net. Recovered by Maple Grove and ahead to Valerius. Shorthanded. Valerius, toe drag. Nice move. Fires. Save. Oh, and a quick whistle there as Dahlberg did not have the puck, but the official lost sight. Valerius might have lost a goal because of it.
Whoop. Back and forth. Nice play by Sam Valerius. Remember that year they made that run to state when Valerius was a sophomore, Jay? This is when he really shined. He got into sections. I think he scored a couple shorthanded goals in that run. And just a pest. He's a threat even when they're killing penalties.
Boy, and then looking at that again, I mean, again, officiating is not an easy job, but there was at no instance where the puck was remotely covered. No way the whistle should have blown there.
That's true.
Pass across, and they're offside here. 42 seconds remaining in the Osseo power play here. They trail Maple Grove by a score of 1-0 here. Section 5 AA quarterfinals. The winner goes on to the semis Wednesday over at the Coliseum. Last year we'll be able to say that, unfortunately. I know there's mixed opinions about the facility, but I love it. I thought it was great for section hockey.
When my son was playing for us, that was big time. Everybody wanted to go to the Coliseum. It was like stepping back into Minnesota history. It's a great place for the players to play.
And I'll tell you, just from a selfish Channel 12 standpoint, there's Passel with a steal. The games looked very good on TV there, too. For such an old building, the lighting was very nice.
My daughter played over there in the state tournament with the girls when they had the state tournament over there, and they loved it. It was a great place to play.
Dahlberg stopping it. Valerius in there trying to create some havoc. Now the penalty time is over. Thompson out of the box here for Maple Grove. So they have killed it off without much difficulty there. Pushed in deep into the Crimson zone. Valerius will come back to get it. And chopped right back in by Almquist for Osseo. Now Franta controlling. A little over 5 minutes to play here in the first. 1-0 Maple Grove, our score. Nice pass onto the tape there of Sam Huff, and he fires. Dahlberg the save, and another. Osseo trying to break it out, but taken away by Franta at center. Now he relays it to an open wing. Lions getting there first for Osseo. Took a check, but got it in deep. Franta. Erickson sending it ahead to center. Lions turns it right back the other way, and here come the Orioles now. Christofferson, going blocked. Lions will swing it across. Turnaround try there. Broken up, knocked down by Nate Erickson, and here come the Crimson now with Vogel. Vogel waiting for a trailer, drops it off, and then the shot blocked up into the netting, and we'll have a face-off here. 4:13 to play in the first, and Osseo, I think, has done a nice job of settling down, Dan. They were really getting bottled up a lot earlier in the game, and certainly still being outplayed, I would say, overall, but definitely have stepped up into this game a little bit more.
They're getting things moved off to the side. They're getting the puck out into the neutral zone. The other part, too, is their D is getting the puck deep in the Maple Grove end, dumping it, and making Maple Grove go the full length of the ice.
Shot there by Sam Ross, going just wide for the Crimson. Just as I say that, Maple Grove turned on the steam and almost got one there. Flip back into the Orioles zone and back out, and then right back in as they play catch with it there. Stroh sending it ahead into the Maple Grove zone. Now Kelly back to gather for the Crimson.
Well, this line with Ross and Vogel with the Crimson has done very well tonight, too. We hear about that top line, but these guys have played pretty doggone good.
Tip back deep into the zone, and that a lot of times can kind of be the difference, too, when you get into section play, too. I mean, you teams you like Blaine or whatnot, you're not going to be a one-line team. There's a turnover and a drive. Goodman the save on Alexander. Maple Grove nearly cost themselves there with a bad turnover, but their goaltender Goodman was ready. Then Osseo, Lions colliding with Alexander. That one could have cost them big time, but it didn't.
Got to talk. You got to communicate out there, especially the D.
Tipped out to center, recovered here by Almquist. Norenberg will drop it back there for Kelly. He had a little trouble with that puck. Maple Grove not quite as sharp as this period has gone on, that's for sure. Here's a little pass ahead now to Almquist. He fires. That one goes wide of the mark. Battle for it here. Passel came away with it. He had Valerius wide open on the left side if he'd been able to come up with that puck clean. Now the centering pass here. Kelly breaks that up. Valerius will float it out.
Well, we talk about the Crimson being fast and all that. I'll tell you what, their D's been blocking some shots, getting their sticks in the passing lane, really not letting Osseo get a good look at their net whatsoever. I'm wondering how many saves. Goodman has done there.
Tipped out front. Dahlberg to save that puck. Almost came out of the zone to make it an offside, but not quite. And now Osseo coming back the other way, and they need a change here, so Alexander will flip it in deep. Maple Grove looking to counter. Valerius. He'll chip it in and head off as they're completing their line change. Erickson overskated it, but threw a check. Knocked around now. Heiser up with it for Osseo. Able to get it to Yonkers. Minute 45 to play in the first. 1-0 Maple Grove our score. And a long pass. Maple Grove caught on a slow change on D there. Thompson was coming off the bench late, but ends up not hurting them and back out to center. And even though Maple Grove's going to end up leading after this period, I'd say right now probably Osseo's coaches Willie and Fino might be a little happier with the later tendencies of this period than Coach Starkey on the Maple Grove side. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and a lot of times that'll work on when you're working hard and doing really well, but you can't score, you don't get rewarded for it. That wears on you as a team, and that's a concern Coach Starkey will have to have. Flip back behind the net. Thompson swinging it around. We go under a minute to play in the first. There it is. Tip try out front, and Goodman's going to pounce on that one and cover it up and force a faceoff with 52 ticks left on the clock here in the first. Yeah, the big change here for Osseo is if they can get guys in front of that net. They've had shots, but they really haven't had anybody close to really real, except for that one flurry we saw about 7 minutes ago. But they got to get in Goodman's face and really start screening him out or getting a tip, and they'll get an opportunity. Off the draw, chopped into the corner. Kelly coming away with it. Banks it off the glass, and then hits the official. Orioles recover here. Lions. Tipped into the Maple Grove zone, then right back out. Here comes Valerius. Valerius trying to leave it for Passold. He gets it to his stick. Out front for Nuremberg, and a goal. Maple Grove turning what looked like a fairly harmless rush into a goal with some great hands and great vision too. First Valerius leaving it for Passold, and then Passold spotting Nuremberg coming on the offside. There's the pass right there. Valerius made springing Passold, who got out front and just saw Nuremberg coming in. I mean, this is the line. This might be one of the better lines in the state. It's one of the better lines in the conference for sure, but these guys have been playing together for pretty much a year and a half and done very well, and boy, they step up at the right time for Maple Grove here with under a minute left in the first to get a 2-goal lead. So 2-0 Crimson here, 16:27 the time of Nuremberg's 8th of the year. And no doubt Passold and Valeria should get the assist. And Maple Grove looking for more late here. Abernathy goes in, shoots, and what a save. Dahlberg standing his ground. Able to make the stop despite a good move, and we reach the end of the first period, and Maple Grove leading at 2-0, and they almost made it 3 right here on this good opportunity there, but Dahlberg stretching it out. What a tremendous save by Dahlberg. That could have been the crusher at the end of the game. See you later, drop the curtains and turn the lights out if they would have scored there. What a save by Dahlberg. Wow. Maple Grove 2, Osseo 0, our score after 1. We'll be back with first period highlights and then the second period. You're watching playoff hockey here from Section 5AA on 12 Sports.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
2-zip Maple Grove after one period as the Crimson dominated early, and then Osseo battled back, but a late goal in the period could be a backbreaker a little bit here too as we look at our first period highlights. And here's a near miss for Maple Grove. It's off a skate, then Valeria sends it across. Passel on the weak side missed an open net there as they struggled to hit the net very early. But then here's an opportunity, one save, two, and not on the third though as Huff punches it in for his 9th goal of the season. Osseo getting a good opportunity right here, but watch Goodman come up with a big stop on the shot in the slot, and then the defenseman getting a piece of the second one and able to stop that attempt. Here's Valerius, a shot, and then a quick whistle. Maybe cost Sam a goal there as they lost sight of it on the initial save. But then watch this one. Valerius to Passel to Norenberg. Great goal there for the Crimson. That one came in the last half minute of the period too to make it 2-0. They almost made it 3 right here on a late chance, but Dahlberg able to get the leg on Dane Abernathy's rush right there in the final seconds. You see the Crimson out shooting the Orioles 13-5. Just one penalty taken in the period. It was by Drake Thompson of Maple Grove. Second period is on the way next to your Section 5 AA Boys Hockey quarterfinals on 12 Sports.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
And welcome back here to the Champlain Ice Forum. Along with Dan Fick and I'm Jay Wilcox. Maple Grove leading Osseo 2-0 here in the Section 5 AA quarterfinals as we get set to begin period number 2. And Dan, as we were talking about late in the first, if you take away that second Maple Grove goal, I think in a lot of ways Osseo had the game, I don't want to say, completely the way they wanted it, but they were hanging in. Now that second goal, and they're hoping that isn't the start of a flurry of goals from Maple Grove. Meanwhile, Maple Grove obviously feeling like, okay, we finally got rewarded for all the offensive zone time we had.
Yeah, and the most important part of that period was the last 2 seconds when Dahlberg made that save on Abernathy, because that would have been a killer, totally. So they get a chance to get back in the locker room, rest up, reset themselves again. So we'll see if Osseo now, stop them on that first 5 minutes and see if they can reestablish some territory and give Dahlberg a little bit of a rest this period and put some pressure on the Crimson.
Flip back into the Grove zone, and here's Kelly. Long pass looking for Norenberg on the right wing boards. Norenberg to the corner with it, swings it around for Passolt. Back the other way, went by Norenberg. And here's a high shot, knocked down in front. Passolt a swing and a miss, and then another try. Dahlberg to save, couldn't control the rebound, and it just misses. And then Thompson knocks this one down at center.
There's a goal and opportunity there. I'd love to have one of those cameras that are directly above the goal line on the net there to see if that maybe slipped in and bent out a little bit, but good opportunity here. Passel gets it now after he fanned on the first one and takes a shot, drops down, and there's Valerius there, being Valerius in front, and they pulled it out, and I'm not sure the ref got a good look at it. Well, he did get a good look at it. He was behind the net, no goal.
Yeah, Valerius was starting to celebrate, but didn't quite go in apparently there. Carried in here by Huff. Now controlled again here by the Crimson. Nice pass down to Huff. He'll leave it for Vogel. Vogel puts on the brakes, trying to bring it out front. Check thrown there as it pops back out to center. Erickson. Now Franta reeling it to the Osseo line. Orioles getting an opportunity here. Seth Yonkers, but that one quickly taken away by Austin Rickliffs for Maple Grove. And his shot sailing in wide. Put out front. Turnaround try here, but that one knocked down by Stroh for Osseo. Now Drake Thompson regaining control here. Back into the Osseo zone. Yonkers. Rink wide with it. Didn't quite connect with Mason Hadala. Rickliffs controlling here for Maple Grove, and then played ahead to Abernathy. Jake Abernathy, that is, able to get it in deep. Big battle for it behind the net. Sam Ross coming away with it for the Crimson. And that shot sailing wide from the point by Jack Kelly. Thompson sending it ahead, and back into the Osseo zone it goes. 2-0 Maple Grove early in the second period. Centering pass there broken up by Boone Almquist. And back across there, intercepted by Christofferson here for Osseo. Getting it ahead to Stroh. Up the middle, then a quick follow-up shot. Actually, it was Lions. 14 rather than 4 as it pops back out to center. Now Stroh recovering it here for the Orioles. Sends it in. Goodman able to stop it back there as Osseo's changing up. Kelly banking it ahead. Tipped by Norenberg to the corner. Passolt trying to get there first. Goes down in the corner as he battles there with Perna. Now comes right back to Josh Passolt. Franta from the point. Looking for a tip was Valeria. Stick save there. Puck still laying loose, and Dahlberg will come up and make the catch there as they had the setup they wanted, and then able to keep Maple Grove out of there.
I see a good opportunity here. Good shot on that tip by Valerius in front. Did I say Valerius in front again? And two Osseo defensemen, 3 Osseo defensemen in front here, kind of not getting their hands on the puck. And you know they can't be letting Valerius behind them like that. Dahlberg kind of looked at him in disgust, saying, "Guys, get him off my back." And then, if I'm on the Osseo coaching bench right now, I'm looking at my guys going, "Guys, you're missing passes. It's coming off your stick. Settle down. You got to make some good plays here. If you want this game, you got to get the right things done here. They need to settle down a little bit and connect a little bit more."
Off the draw, knocked over to Dahlberg. Here's Stroh. Banking it out to center. Tipped into the Crimson zone by Funfa, and he missed with his check and got a lot of boards himself. Knocked back in. Here's Norenberg trying to come up with it, and broken up there. Seth Yonkers coming back out for Osseo. Valerius trying to line him up. Now Yonkers controlling it for the Orioles. And never got it to the front. Look out, here comes Valerius back the other way, and knocked down by Lyons at center. And a pass ahead, opportunity here. Funfar a shot, and Goodman the save. One of Osseo's better chances of the night. Passolt fanned on his pass. Now brought back in by Yonkers, but that one is blocked there by Franta.
Boy, just broke him open real nice at the blue line there as he's coming in, and you know he got a pretty good shot. But look at Goodman out there, Jay. He's above the crease. He cut down the angle, really gave him nothing to shoot at, and he couldn't deke because the D was right on his tail.
And you know, I like Goodman. It isn't normally the first thing you think of when you're talking about goaltender, but he's a good skater.
Yeah, he is.
He's got good movement. You know, out to the. He's just not just quick with the hands. Here's a chance. Oh, and Dahlberg robbing Vogel, who all of a sudden was wide open in front there as there's a mouth guard laying there near Dahlberg. Carried back the other way now. Little pass flicked over. Hadala chasing it down in the corner. And Crimson trying to get that one on out. They do to the Osseo line. Now Vogel getting control. Vogel leaving it for Kelly. He'll send it around behind for Erickson. Erickson skating through a check there. Vogel to the point. Kelly, that one's tipped into the corner. And we get a whistle stopping play here. Looks like the net is off, yes.
You know, the one thing we've been talking about, we watched, you know, Maple Grove, a team that scored 108 goals this year, is one thing we're not talking about is that's a pretty good defensive team. I mean, their defensemen have really, really restricted Osseo's opportunities and made Mr. Goodwin's life in net pretty good. I mean, they've only gotten really 3 good opportunities.
And he's been solid on the couple good chances they have had.
Yeah.
Save there by Dahlberg. Ricklefs keeps it in. Got the pass over to Dane Abernathy. To the corner they go, and it spins around. Controlled there by Dane Abernathy, and then Ricklefs will relay it on in. Battle for it in the corner. Now Franta stepping up to keep it alive in the zone for Maple Grove. Jared Vance over to it. Fans on the first try. And they just get it on out. Franta will relay it in and they'll change up.
See, these are the little things I'm talking about. Fanning on that, a little pass here and there. If they can get that cleaned up, Jay, they can turn things around a little bit and create some more opportunities.
Pass was behind Valerius there. Now recovered by the Orioles. Hits Norenberg on the way in, trying to get it quickly out to Valerius. 1-on-3. Valerius dropping it back. Norenberg had it briefly but lost it. Now Funfar coming for Osseo, trying to get it to Stroh, and his backhander goes just wide. And then Stroh sent sprawling and hits the edge of the net, knocks it off. Kind of a quick little sneaky rush there for Osseo. There wasn't a lot of room.
Nice transition right here. They got it through, and then Stroh did a nice job of splitting the D. If he could have kept a little more control of the puck, he might have had a really excellent opportunity to shelf it on Goodman and get the Orioles on the board here.
Crimson win the draw. Kelly ringing it around for Vogel, but he couldn't quite get to it. It's going to be an icing call here against Maple Grove. They had the breakout they wanted, but just didn't quite connect. So another defensive zone face-off here for Maple Grove, and I think Tom Starkey right now, you know, obviously they're up, but I don't think they're playing as well as he would like to see here in the second period.
You know, they're not really having the opportunities that they had in that first period, Jay, at all. The Osseo's really clamped down and kept them to the outside, not letting them have the middle like they did in the first part of the period. In the first period,
Vogel's pass intercepted there by Hodla. Nice little drop ahead for Hodla by Alexander. Hodla chases it down out front, and Goodman directed that one away. And a good thing for Maple Grove's sake that he did.
Christopherson was closing in on the backside.
Vogel tips it in. Dahlberg leaving it there for Almquist. Spins back away from the forecheck. Under 10 to play here, second period. Franta intercepting that long pass, and he's able to get it in deep. Knocked back over, and Almquist sending it over right side. Orioles trying to bring it up. Ross, a couple tries at it there. They brought it back in offside. And have to touch up now. Here's Franta. Dean Abernathy up the right wing. Abernathy lost it in his skates a little bit. Now they play it down to the corner. Ooh, and a check thrown there by the Crimson's Jake Abernathy. Hitting has picked up, although it's still been a pretty clean game. Here's a chance Osseo way, but Franta jabs that one out of there.
And I think the refs are letting him play too. That, you know, physicality is part of this game, and the referees are letting him play, and they're picking it up a little more. But like you said, it's been pretty clean.
Ross's shot caroms all the way back down deep in the Maple Grove zone. Nice move by Thompson there. And then he threads the needle to Valerius. He has Passel and Norenberg with him. Norenberg firing and just missed the net. Then the second one put on goal from a tough angle by Passel. Now Thompson. A lot of good players on both teams, but boy, the skill level of that Maple Grove first line is up another notch from most of the rest of the players out there.
No question about it. Like you said, they're one of the best, definitely one of the best lines in the conference that contains Blaine and Elk River and Andover, and yet they might be one of the better ones in the state.
Valerius to Passold. Here they come again. Passold looking for the trailer, Valerius, but it hit a skate. Now it comes back to Nordberg, and Passold shot blocked. Good job by Lyons to stay with him. And then a dangerous pass there. Passold, and it's a goal. Not sure if Valerius got a piece of it or if it'll be just Josh Passold, but Osseo, a turnover, costs him mightily right there, and it's 3-0 Crimson.
A lot of good hard work by Josh Passold here, the junior, who's, you know, we talked Coach Starkey, he's made a lot of improvement maturity-wise this year, but see the move here coming in, splits the D, comes through. Now watch the back-handed movement.
Ooh.
I think he was screened. I think it went straight in on the 5-hole, and Dahlberg was screened by his 2D, but Crimson jumping to a 3-0 lead on a bit of a, I don't know, misnomer. I can't say a fluke goal.
They'll call it an unassisted goal there as he picked off that pass, and I think it maybe caught Dahlberg a little bit by surprise there as well too. It really looked like Passold by that point was going to make, attempt to pass the puck, and kind of all of a sudden snuck in on him before he could see it coming. Now they look to strike again. Pass across for Nate Erickson, centering here now, and Huff couldn't get his stick on it. Maple Grove, I think, kind of smelling blood here right now. They would like to seize total control of this game. Banked out to center, and Ricklefs will send it back in. Dahlberg stopping it.
Well, Jay, let's watch and see if the Crimson D start stepping up more in the play to really add to the attack here. That'd be a good sign that they're going to go for ending this game as soon as they possibly can here.
Thompson across to Franta. He will send it in deep. Kabelbeck took a check. Now they put it out front, and that one is tipped on out of there. Thompson back to gather it here for Maple Grove. Osseo hurriedly completing a change. Dane Abernathy flipping it into the Oriole zone. And a huge collision right near the blue line there. Brendan Hoban ended up getting the worst of that one, looked like. Now Drake Thompson, a shot and a goal.
Oh my God.
Right underneath the crossbar and in. Referee right away signaled goal. And it is 4-0 Crimson.
That was what we would call a cannon, Jay. Oh my gosh, what a windup from the top of the thing here.
And you see Dahlberg never saw it. He did not turn his head. Then there was some question whether it was in or not, but I think it was the right call that it, it hit the underside of the crossbar and dropped it straight down. And the official was on the goal line, and he was immediately on it, giving goal call there.
Boy, he picked that corner clean. Drake Thompson coming in with just a really nice shot there from the top of the key, or from the top of the blue line there. These are all good omens here for the Crimson, Jay, as they move through the section now. They're getting scoring from a variety of places. They're not depending on that first line. That's a good omen for them.
I think Osseo kind of asking, are you sure that was in?
Well, it's like you said, too. You saw right away, there was no doubt. He had it the minute it went in the net. He was signaling it, and they whistled it down right away. He was right in a good position.
Dane Abernathy and I believe Ross got that second assist there on Thompson's goal. His 7th of the year. Maple Grove buzzing for more. Passold swings it out to the top. Kelly, his shot blocked, but it goes right to Passold. And then that one knocked down, and the Orioles are just going to hammer it on out and take the icing here with 5:38 to go in the second. And Maple Grove has really taken control of this one.
We're going to get a look from another angle here. We'll see it come up. Kind of lost sight of it, but boy, there's no question it hit that net there and bounced back and hit Dahlberg in the back. That was where the question came in.
We have a pretty good angle because we're basically more or less right behind where Drake Thompson shot the puck from, and I thought it was in initially too.
Yeah.
Now things getting quite physical. Pass out front. broken up. But you can see right now Osseo is just trying to defend, just trying to throw the puck out of there. They're being they're kind of under siege right now.
They're tired. Frankly, they're just tired. The last 5 minutes have been under siege, like you said, their own zone there. Their legs are getting tired here.
Franta getting the pass ahead there to Erickson, now to Vogel. Vogel to the net. And now drops it back. It's laying loose in the slot, and Dahlberg able to get to it, and now things get a little rough out front.
Nate Erickson in front there, doing what Nate Erickson does. He likes standing in front of that net. I think he's going to go, but I think Osseo's going to, yeah, it'll be offsetting penalties here. Seth Yonkers is going to go in for the Osseo Orioles. Nice job on by Dahlberg there. He was kind of surprised by the whole thing, and you can see the frustration kind of coming out all the way around.
Looks like they'll each get roughing minors here, and I think correctly so, the way things look there. Wasn't a whole lot, but you want to nip things in the bud a little bit too.
There you go, exactly.
So we'll stay at 5 aside here. Ross knocked down, plays it to the corner. Tip loose, chance out front, and they pass back, and Ross knocking it just wide. Good unselfish play there by Jake Abernathy. He realized he didn't have a great angle, so he passed it to Ross.
Jay, this line of Abernathy and Ross is you've been calling their names a lot. They're really stepping up. You know, if you're going to do things, you get through section, you get to state. You know, you can't depend on the one line. You've got to have an effective second and third line, and they've really stepped up tonight. They're showing that they're ready to go.
Here's Thompson bringing it into the zone. Valerius dropping it over for Passel. Puck laying loose, and they're able to clear. Kelly chases it down here for Maple Grove. Passel behind the net. Pass knocked down and hammered to the corner. Passel comes up with it. Norenberg. He'll go point. Drake Thompson. Thompson being bothered there. Put it over for Norenberg. It's off his stick to the corner. And Valerius played it. Passel vacated the area though. Norenberg able to glove it down and keep it in though. Out front, Valerius. Stopped by Dahlberg, and then it's covered up, and Passel trying to knock it free. And the problem too, though, for Osseo, Dan, is they're, right now things getting physical and whatnot, but I don't think they're necessarily going to win that battle either.
Oh, no, they're not. The other part too, Jay, when you play defense, as much as they've played defense in their zone, it's much more tiring on you. Your legs get, weakened out a lot quicker. Mentally, it wears on you because you really can't afford not to be out of position, so you got to be thinking there too. It's just not good all the way around.
Turnaround try here, and I think we got a penalty coming up here, and we do. It looks like it will be against Stroh of Osseo for a trip. So Stroh will.
You can just tell by the look on their heads too. You see the chin starting to droop a little bit now, and they need something good to happen to them right now. Maybe killing this penalty will get them juiced up a little bit.
Thompson to Valerius. Here's Franta. Pass hold. And Franta had a swing and a miss. Now Thompson. Franta around to pass hold, and he fans on it. Back out to Franta, and here's Thompson. Pass tipped by Valerius over to pass hold. Back across for Thompson. And now Valerius spinning away. He'll leave it for Drake Thompson. Now Franta from the point. That one blocked by Hoban. Orioles trying to clear, but Thompson kept it alive. Now across, Passold out front and looking for Valerius, who was deflected just wide. Franta. Passold in the circle. Leaves it back for Franta. That one might have hit the outside of the net, or at least off of the leg of Dahlberg. Now Dane Abernathy. Around they'll come. Franta. Hasselt in the circle, had it hop away from him. And then stolen away here by Hoban for Osseo. But his pass to an open spot and nobody there for Osseo. He didn't get that puck in deep.
Not a smart play. Should have dumped it. They needed to get off the ice. Now both their D are stuck back there. Didn't get a change. They've been out there for the whole penalty kill.
Huff controlling here for Maple Grove. They got their second power play unit out. So controlled the puck a lot, but didn't really get any great chances. Here's Kelly. Now to Norenberg. 10 to go on the power play for Maple Grove. They're up 4-0. Norenberg. Around now. Here's Kelly. And the penalty time is now over. Stroh out of the box, and he'll hustle right back into the play. And a penalty coming up on Stroh. He came charging out of the box. And he is going to go for an elbow. Well, that didn't take long to get another penalty there, did it?
Well, that's lack of discipline. I don't care what you say. I mean, some of the Osseo, it was fairly obvious. If we watch the replay, you'll see he just took a run at him the minute he got out of the box. Had his back to him, and some of the Osseo fans are unhappy. But I'm sorry, we're going to get that elbow right up into the face. I mean, jeepers, come on, man, use your head.
And although it didn't end up being called charging, I think the fact that he skated at him full speed from so far away influenced that call too.
Oh yeah, he took about 15 strides to get down there full hard. I mean, the ref saw him coming all the way.
So Maple Grove right back to the power play. Here's a drive by Franta, that one deflecting just wide and then hammered but not out. Thompson controlling here for the Crimson.
Right now, the Crimson out shooting the Orioles 23-7.
Hasselt dropping it for Valerius. Nice block there by Almquist. Franta circles around here for Maple Grove. Just kept it in. Now Passolt. Passolt shooting, stick save Dahlberg and floated to the line, but Franta kept it in. 20 to go in the period. Franta trying to put it down low. Nice job by Lyons to block that. Valerius controlling. Valerius looking for a little give and go, and he gets away a shot, and Dahlberg, a nice stop. The pass was a little behind Valerius, but he still got control enough to get a shot away, and Dahlberg was right there.
And we've been talking about this. Dahlberg has played a sensational game. So I mean, he's had 4 scores on him, Jay, but he's played a fabulous game for the Orioles. This could be a lot worse if he hadn't been in net right now. And he's unfazed. He's staying in there. He's trying to help his team as much as he can. He's got good positioning, and he's really making an effort to keep the puck out of the net.
Off the draw, Orioles control and get it out to center, and that should about do it for our second period. So Maple Grove adding 2 more goals in the period and really taking control of this game. Our score after 2, Crimson 4, Orioles nothing. We'll be back with our second period highlights and then the third period here on 12 Sports.
Oh, hey, bud. Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
4-0 Maple Grove after 2 periods here in the Section 5AA quarterfinals. We check out our second period highlights, and it was very much a Maple Grove period. Although Osseo got one of their better chances of the night right here. A little pass to Stroh, and he got away a quick backhander, but it goes just wide. But Maple Grove dominated from there. Norenberg firing that one, deflecting just wide. Then another one thrown on net, kicked out of there by Dahlberg. And here's Passel dropping it back, and it goes through the wickets there on Dahlberg. Passel, I'm not so sure he wasn't trying to pass, but into the net it goes. And there's a rocket from Drake Thompson right under the crossbar. Scramble for it, but they were right away ruled goal. And it stood as a goal for the defenseman Thompson. And then late in the period, we saw Stroh take back-to-back penalties. That was the second of the two. He came right out of the box and picked up an elbowing penalty. He's still be in the box when we head to period number 3. You see Maple Grove dominating in all phases now as we head into the third. 4-0 Crimson. They'll try and wrap up a win here in the third period next on 12 Sports.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The Action Team.
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
And we get set to drop the puck for period number 3 here, and Maple Grove has opened this one up, 4-0 lead. We'll see what the third period entails here. Will Osseo battle back and stay in it, or will Maple Grove just run away with it here? Also, I think it'd be interesting to see how full the penalty boxes get or don't get. Osseo will be shorthanded to begin this period, and certainly the hitting picked up quite a bit late. Obviously, a little frustration, and then back and forth between the teams too.
Well, if you're the Maple Grove coaching staff, you remind these guys that, guys, we're probably going to move on here. Don't put yourself in jeopardy for the next few games because they're only going to get tougher on that. So I would imagine they're going to take it easy.
Into the corner here, Crimson Valerius controlling. Back out to Franta. Now it gets away from Passold. A couple of Crimson players go down here, and Osseo able to clear it on out as Almquist sends it down the rink. Goodman stopping it there, plays it to an open area there and hammered right back in. Franta trying to control it. I think the puck's a little trouble sliding over a wet spot there as the Zamboni, of course, did its work between periods. Penalty is over. Franta's pass back, gets to Passold. Now Franta tipped away and a chance the other way now. Jared Vance on a breakaway. Vance to the net, and Goodman makes a tremendous glove save right there.
Oh my gosh. Just a nice created opportunity for Osseo on a kind of a fortunate line change there. Picks it up and he goes down. I think he's looking for, Vance looking for short side. Tried to go up high into the glove side, but Goodman up to the task. Not letting them have a glimmer of hope.
Puck rolls back into the Osseo zone here, so great opportunity to get on the board there for Osseo, but Goodman was sharp, and nothing really wrong with that shot, I don't think either. There was room that side, and could see why he took that wrist shot, but just quick glove.
Well, there's no room for a deke there at all either, especially with the defense hounding him on the way back. So he did the best he could, but you know, as this section goes on, and it's a tough one. You know, we got Centennial and we got Blaine, and Maple Grove is showing 2-seed pedigree. You know what I mean, Jay? The first game can always be a tough one. You never know quite. They've come out and showed right off the bat that they're ready to play section hockey and take a run at it, and they know what they're in for. I mean, Blaine's the team to beat, and they're going to have to play exceptionally well to beat them.
They're going to have to play well to get there, too, in the second round. Here's an opportunity now. Carried in by Jacob Lang and directed to the corner. Crimson looking to break it on out here. Here comes Huff, who scored the first goal of the night. Chips it to the corner. Gets a return pass. Now coming to the point, but they were changing up their D-men. Nobody out there yet. Heiser has it bounce away right into the slot. He'll come back and get it again and leave it around for circling Hoban. Pass intercepted by Passolt. Almquist controlling here for Osseo. They look like they were skating a little bit better again here to start the third. They were looking pretty dejected by the end of the second, but seem to have a little more life again here to begin the third. That pass, though, behind its target. Lions chasing it down.
You kind of look at it coming out. If you're going to get back in this game, you got to do it a goal at a time. Plus, they got to rest. No, big mistake there.
Collision, and Goodman able to rob Funfar as two Maple Grove players ran into each other, left the puck all alone for Funfar, but Goodman stopped him. Here's Passolt. Passolt to the back end. Dahlberg the save, and the puck's still loose. And now Connor Dahlberg able to cover it up, and Maple Grove, I thought, boy, this would be ironic if they convert right after Osseo missed one. And another look at this, just we saw this happen to Osseo earlier. Two guys going for it, and they collide.
And Funfar with a second opportunity. He got in alone earlier on in the game and just could not put it away. You know, we've talked about Dahlberg because he's seen so much puck, but I'll tell you what, Goodman's been, when he has been tested, Jay, has stood up to the pressure.
You know, and I have to think, even though at the moment you don't like it, I think for Goodman's sake, it's probably good that he's gotten a few real hard ones in this game, because obviously he's gone stretches without having to see the puck much, and you'd like to be, you know, assuming they win and go on, you'd like to have him a little sharp for that next round. Here's a rush now for the Crimson. Keep it back across, and Dane Abernathy missed the net.
Well, for a sophomore to keep focus in that type of situation is really good too. And you know, he's I don't know if he's kind of, you could say he came out of nowhere, but he really stepped up this year, and I don't think they were expecting him to. They were thinking McKinnon was going to be the man, but he's played very, very, very well.
I know earlier Coach Starkey talked about how into his craft that Goodman is. I mean, he said every game, every moment, this really matters a lot to him.
Yes.
He's a kid who loves hockey. Now the pass coming out right wing side to Erickson. Knocked loose, and Hodla controlling here for Osseo. That pass deflected, but eventually gets there, but then Franta broke it up. It's turned into a more wide open game, which, you know, in short term has been okay for Osseo, but I think overall that wouldn't be the type that favors them. But then again, when you're down 4, you've got to generate some chances too. And they have actually done that.
Yep, they have. They're playing very well here coming out in the first almost 5 minutes of this period.
And I think what has to, there's a tip that goes wide. What has to feel good too for Osseo is I don't think it isn't that Maple Grove's become sloppy. It's just that they've moved their level up a notch. Osseo, I mean.
Yes, yeah, they've got a little extra jump in their step here.
Dahlberg making the save on Sam Huff, who's going to head off for a change. Norenberg stepped up to meet Stroh, and now dropped back. Here's Passolt, a backhander and a goal. Valerius dropped it back to him, and Passolt buries it as they're able to pounce on that inability to get the puck out of the zone there for the Orioles, and it's 5-0 Crimson.
As soon as we start talking good about Osseo, all of a sudden that first line of the Crimson just steps right up to the plate. Valerius, Norenberg, and Hasselt coming through, and backhander gets through the wickets of Dahlberg. Stepping up and just reminding him that we're here to play.
Dahlberg actually got a piece of that one too,
yeah,
but
did.
not quite able to stop it. Passel will get his second of the night, 20th of the year. So always kind of a nice milestone to hit that 20 mark in a high school length season. Here's Dane Abernathy looking out front, loosened skates, and Dahlberg decides not to keep it covered. Hoban leading the rush the other way, flipping it over there to Lang. Valerius and Norenberg will get the assist on Passol's goal at 5:56. Thompson trying to get it out of there. Now Thompson will bank it, and it rolls into the Osseo zone. Behind the scenes, a little battle there, and Yonkers trying to get control of it. Here comes Huff. Knocked free from him. Oh. Just got away from Funfar there, and now Vogel controlling it. Leaves it back. Getting a shift out there now, Josh Wente, defenseman number 8 for the Crimson. Pass coming back toward the point. Tried to go down to the corner with it. Instead, they break it out the other way. Here comes Kyler Fisher, a 2-on-1. Fisher firing, and a blocker save there by Dahlberg, as the defenseman did a pretty good job of taking that pass away, and Fisher getting his first shift, and it was forced into taking that shot. Now Vance, who was stopped on a breakaway earlier in the period, took a hit, but the puck stays with Osseo as Yonkers coming up with it. Yonkers fighting it out there with Wente.
Nice battle there, I'll tell you.
Now Stroh shooting. That one is blocked. And back the other way comes Evan Augustine now for Maple Grove. Couldn't get the puck in deep, though. Mistake there.
Looks like that shot stung Nate Erickson, number 18 for the Crimson here. We'll see if he comes back out on the ice.
Franta knocking Lyons down, lost his stick. Flipped over, and Orioles trying to bring it up the right side now. Hadala. He was knocked off the puck. Augustine getting it up the right side now. Norenberg. Norenberg circling the net. Here's Franta firing, and that one deflects up into the netting behind Connor Dahlberg here. 8:17 to play in the hockey game. Maple Grove leading Osseo 5-0 here in the 5AA quarterfinals.
We're seeing both coaches now, and both teams kind of mixing their lines up a little bit. Both teams trying to get a little bit of a different look. I think the Crimson are trying to get some guys some experience and rest a few guys, getting ready to move on, which looks good with a 5-0 lead right now.
Ross in the corner, pinned to the wall.
Yeah, one of the things that they talked about too, Coach Starkey, in that meeting they had, there's some guys in this team that were on that lace. Looks like they're having a little issue in the corner with Ross and one of the Orioles.
I think it might be Stroh. I think the initial penalty was going to go on Maple Grove, maybe, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we're going to get. No, it looks like it's just going to be Osseo, a cross check. See Mark Fino expressing his displeasure, saying that Stroh was fighting to get his way free from being held, as Osseo is.
Well, you see initial contact there. And continued rubbing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And he was down. Either way, it puts the Orioles behind the 8 ball again here now, letting that Crimson power play take another run at him.
Thompson from the circle across to Passel off his skate, and then he sails it over the net. Drake Thompson controlling here, leaves it for Franta. Passel teeing it up, and Dahlberg making the stop there for the Orioles.
Connor Dahlberg's done a tremendous job tonight, Jay. I've been very, very impressed. He's turned into quite a goaltender this year and done a heck of a good job.
Valerius brings it to Franta, now leaving it for Josh Passholt. Franta's shot tipped, Dahlberg the save, and then the rebound over to the corner. Thompson to the front. Osseo really packing back in that box, 4 guys deep. Now Franta. Down low with it, Valerius, back for Passholt, and we might have a player in the crease perhaps. Or is the net off?
That's off.
Yep, net has come off.
Yep. Player in the crease would have brought it outside the zone.
Yeah, right, yep.
Well, I was starting to say too, there's a number of Crimson on this team. They're on that last state tournament team, and they talked about what a bitter taste in their mouth they had. So I'm not surprised they came out here firing the way they have. They've looked very good, Jay. They've looked like contenders here.
Dane Abernathy picking it up here and drops it back for Nuremberg. Kelly bringing it up ice here for Maple Grove. Huff to the front, firing, and Dahlberg making another catch. I know one thing that Coach Starkey talked about too, about what in terms of what he wanted to bring, is that they needed to get grittier, and you're seeing a lot of guys, being willing to stand in front of the net, try and get Dahlberg's vision, do a little bit of the things, and those are the kind of, you get deeper into the playoffs, those are the kind of things you're probably not going to score 3-4 pretty goals a night in the, you get to the Coliseum. You got to get a couple rebounds or tips or screens and things like that.
Well, as the farther you move on in sections, everybody gets a little better. There isn't too many out matches, so it's those small little things that make a difference here. And what I like what Coach Starkey has done, he's brought some good physical play back to the Crimson, but it's been good physical play. They're not going in the box. They're making timely hits when they need to, and using their heads in there to do it. And combine that with their speed, Jay, that turns them into a pretty formidable opponent.
Chip back into the Crimson zone here. Nuremberg will come back to gather it. Back around. Huff bringing it up ice, and he's going to send it in deep. Abernathy, Dane Abernathy trying to get that one now. Kelly, and nice job to chop it on out of there by Hoban for Osseo. Penalty time just about to expire here to Stroh, and it does. Huff carrying it up ice here for the Crimson. Little drop. Here's Erickson, who's back out there. That shot didn't keep him out the rest of the night. Now Erickson gets it again and tried to go high short side and missed over the top. This one deflects into the corner. Augustine leaving it for Erickson. Now the return pass behind the net. Erickson. And intercepted. Nice job. And here's a rush for Rudy Alexander. Look at him go. On the breakaway penalty coming up against Maple Grove as he was hooked at a little bit there. And it will be a power play for the Orioles as Alexander showed a little bit of speed there trying to break away, and he will draw the penalty.
Well, Osseo's gotten some of these opportunities here, Jay, tonight. And I'll tell you what, Maple Grove's got to tighten that up, boy. They do that against Blaine or Centennial, and they're going to get scored on. But we'll see him take a run down here now.
And Erickson got enough of a hook in there. I think a good call, definitely.
Yes.
He's in the box. And now shorthanded, though. Here comes Passholt. Passholt puts on the brakes, and he's going to flip it all the way back out to Franta.
Wow, that was a smart play, Jay. That was as smart as they get.
Franta slamming it off the glass, but it's kept in. Orioles a little 2-on-1 down low. Centering pass, and it's knocked wide. And all the way out. Osseo would love to get one here, at least get one on the board. And like you said, Dan, Goodman has had to make a few pretty big saves. I mean, I don't want to oversell it and say that Osseo, you know, has had a lot of great chances or anything, but it definitely have been a few that could have gone in. Augustine trying to go to the net here and bumped off it. Christofferson controlling now for the Orioles here. They've got power play for another 50 seconds or so.
Well, the Osseo Orioles, there's no quitting these guys. They're still playing really hard. Like first part of this third period, they came out with some jump, and they're still fighting. They haven't given up or quit yet.
Controlled here by Hadla. Circles behind the net. And that pass, though, is intercepted, and Kibelbeck will send it down the rink. And I don't want to jinx anything here, Dan, but I am impressed, too, that both teams have just played hockey for the most part in this third period.
Yeah.
The way it was looking late in the second, I thought, oh, we might have one of these kind of ugly penalty-filled third periods, and they've come out and just played hard.
Well, I think that's a tribute to both the coaching staffs. Both of them, too, get the kids settled down. It's not worth it.
Out front, Valeria is trying to send it over there to Vogel. Vogel controlling. Penalty is now over. And so Maple Grove kills off that penalty to Erickson without too much difficulty. Thompson controlling now for the Crimson. Spinning away there was Zach Heiser, but then the puck given up. Ross had it knocked away before he could shoot. Vance up the right side, trying to put it out front, and it is behind Kerna. On the way out of the zone, a little trip there, but we play on. Ross dropping it back. And the shot deflected wide. Big Karam off the end boards. Turnaround try, and Dahlberg has to make a save on a bouncing puck. Out to the point again, and Rickliff's put that one on net into the pads of Dahlberg, who's obviously been quite busy tonight. 35 saves for him now.
Well, Ipswich junior team's gotten a good look at Connor Dahlberg. I like the way he's just been controlled. There we go. Oh.
And Franta will be called for the trip as he got the stick in on Funfar. It was a strange angle as he reached for him, and Franta pleading his case that he didn't really trip him. It was hard to tell for sure. You see, right?
It looked like he turned his ankle on his left foot there, Jay, and the blade caught on the ice.
It's hard to see for sure if he made contact with the blade or not, but it was one of those that it definitely looked like it.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to get called in either way. And so Osseo right back to the power play as we go under 2 minutes remaining in this hockey game. Maple Grove leading their rivals 5-0. Tip down into the corner. Osseo looking to get that power play set up. Lyons dropping it back down, and it gets away, and Thompson will just quickly frisbee it on out. Dahlberg dropping it for Stroh here. A minute 25 to go in the hockey game. Maple Grove's going to advance into the semifinals. Adela heading to the middle. Pass was tipped. Thompson steals it there off the glass and out. Stroh had a little trouble with it, but he recovers. And then tipped into the the Maple Grove zone here. Christofferson to the corner for it. Christofferson circling out high, drops the pass off. That shot attempt is blocked up into the ceiling here at the Ice Forum at Champlin. 53 seconds remaining in our hockey game here.
Well, again, just looking at that Maple Grove defense, they played a very, very nice game tonight, really shutting down the angles. And we talked earlier about Drake Thompson here. He's just been, how many times has he stood up there, blocked the shot, got a stick on it, took the angle away. They really restricted Osseo's opportunities.
Orioles looking to create from behind the net now. Comes out front. Here's a shot. Goodman the save, and then the rebound knocked just wide as he couldn't quite make a clean glove catch on that. Floating the pass out front. It kicks over to the corner. Now a centering try, and Goodman denying Jacob Lang in close. Under 20 to play in the hockey game here. Ledeen comes up with it, puts it out front, and cleared away as Goodman loses the mask. And nice sportsmanship there by Hoban. Instead of doing anything he shouldn't, he just handed it to him.
It's a little scary when a goalie loses his mask, I'll tell you that. You know, with all those sticks and those skate blades down there. We've seen some bad situations happen in the professional level when that happens. They have actually talked about initiating if a player does lose his helmet or his mask, he has to leave the ice immediately like the Olympic rules this year.
And back into the Osseo zone, and that's going to about chew up our remaining time here. So 2 goals in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 more in the third. And Maple Grove will be moving on to the Section 5 AA semifinals here with a win over Osseo. And Osseo, obviously, some guys wrapping up their careers here today with the Orioles, and not the score they wanted, but I thought in a lot of ways, they kept battling and they did what they could to try and stay in this one.
There's no quitting the guys. They kept playing. I mean, look at how they came out in the beginning of the third period. Both you and I were impressed with the jump they had. They really went after it and battled hard. Plus, they acted with class. The physical stuff could have got out of hand, but they didn't. They kept control of themselves and played their game. And let's face it, Maple Grove is a very, very good hockey team, especially that first line. And, they're looking like, they're number 2 seed, big contenders in this section. So overall, good start for the Crimson here. They showed that they're serious about this. Another season for the Orioles. They did themselves proud by working hard all through the game.
So that'll do it for our telecast here tonight. We'll be following the Crimson as they advance in the section tournament as well here. 5-0 Maple Grove over Osseo. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from the Champlain Ice Forum.